bulletin. That's like, you have been he been pressing me to really have y'all understand how serious this is. He's pressing me this morning. He was like, I was thinking, I was communing. And it was like, I don't think we understand the weight of this Narcissist series. You will begin to show me, he said, they got to get this, because this is what's been killing their walk in their awakening. It don't matter how much we bring out about the kingdom and this stuff established about the eternal excellency, this is what you're going to be fighting within yourself. He said, make sure they understand not to just take this as a season message, because you're going to be tried with it. So you're thinking you're doing better right now based off the information in front of you. But what's going to happen when the fall feast get here? When I ain't talking about this no more. We have to make sure that we're going over this now, because this is everything dealing with us. This is what's been causing the hindrance in your relationship with Yahuwah. Now the information is in front of you. Are you going to take heed? Are you going to keep it to heart? How many times are you going to watch it to make sure you have it? All right. Now, we talked about a lot of things on how a narc is born, right? But I want us to see the dynamics through the scripture. We're going to go over a few scriptures. And this is talking about Hasatan, right? The adversary. But I want you to start looking at the character as it relates to his children. I want you to look, because the way that he is the way that narcissists are. Nobody's born a narcissist. You are made into it based off your circumstance, based off your deficits, based off your stolen birthrights, based on the possessions that you have taken within yourself, based off the stolen birthrights, based off your trauma, based off your childhood development or lack thereof. John 8:44. Somebody read that for
me. John chapter 8, verse 44. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desire. He was a murderer from the beginning.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
Not holding the truth. For there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks in native language.
His native language.
His native language. For he is a liar and the father of lies.
Now, because of this narcissistic person, individual, this person has built a relationship with lies. It's so embedded, everything about this person is false. This is what was given to them to survive. And inward, they feel deficits. So naturally, they make others ground down feel the way they feel inwardly, not the way they show. Think about how many things the narcissist have murdered in your life if you're married to him. Or think about just you. How many things or people or relationships have you premeditated on killing? Because you angry, because your feelings hurt, because you need revenge. We done murdered some people ruachically within ourselves, haven't we? Now raise your hand high. Yeah, you did. But he's the original murderer, not holding truth, but there is no truth in him. This is why you can't really sit down and have a reasonable conversation without them lying. Keep going. I'm going to go fast. I got it. John 10:10. The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Now, think about it. The narcissist come in your life to steal from you, to kill what you built, and destroy your progress. She has stole your integrity with truth, with belief, to kill and destroy. 1 Peter 5:8-9. Be on alert, be sober-minded. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking who he may devour. The narc go from relationship to relationship, seeking how he can devour this person based on his study of that person. And you just thankful to have somebody in your life. So tired of being alone. I'm so tired of it. That loneliness mess you up. You bring somebody in there that's seeking to as a devourer. Oh yeah, you got all the qualities. Empathetic, very loving. You got a people's champ mentality. You got the underdog mentality. Thinking you can change somebody. You perfect for me. All I got to do is love bomb you a little bit, make you think this is me, then I can get you locked in. I can show you the real me, but then you'll be longing for what I showed you in the beginning. All right, let's keep going. Who got the clicker? The clicker, man. You was doing well, though. Second, I feel comfortable with it. 2 Corinthians 11:14. No wonder even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. How many of y'all don't raise your hand? Then experience that metamorphosis. I didn't know you can be like that. You showed me you was light. I thought you was going to do right. I ain't know you can cuss me out. I ain't know you can shut down on me 2-3 weeks. I ain't know you can talk that sharply to me and cut me deep like that. I ain't know you can hold them type of secrets. 2 Corinthians 11:3. But I am afraid that as the serpent deceived Eve, by his craftiness, your minds will be led astray by the simplicity and your purity of devotion to Yahushua. The worst thing to see is somebody get married and the purity of their devotion start diminishing. They were just as pure at first, then you start seeing the decline. Did it happen in your marriage? Did you decline? Was you pure at first? Then like you gotta roll, like we rolling down here. Something going on. I just ain't happy in Yahushua no more. Uh-oh. I told y'all, I look at it, everybody quiet, look at it. I told him. I ain't started cutting you yet. Ephesians 6:11, put the full armor of Yahuwah so that you will be able to stand against the schemes of the enemy. Ain't nothing worse than being married to a schemer. That your friend is scheming. 2 Thessalonians 2:9-10, that is the one who is coming in accord with activity of Satan, with all power, signs, and false wonders, and with all deception and wickedness for those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth to be saved. All right, let's keep going. Isaiah 14:12. How hast thou fallen, O from Shamin, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How hast thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nation? But thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into the heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Lord. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. The goal of Satan and his Narcissist children is worship through manipulation. They want you to worship their ego, their emotions, their feelings, their attitudes, their fears, and their past. So just as Hasatan made this declaration, this is the declaration that a narc desires. I'm going to be like the Most High. I'm going to make you worship me more than Yahusha. Because when you hurt my feelings, it ain't going to be about how Yahusha feel. It's going to be about what you're going to do for me. Because notice, in the midst of it, your relationship or your prayer life starts to take a step back. Because now your prayers is focused about dealing with your spouse and not just a loving relationship with Yahuwah. Now who's getting the worship? Your spouse. I will be like the Most High. It ain't about purpose. It ain't about kingdom no more. It ain't about Yahuwah, what's on your heart. It's about Yahuwah, help me deal with my husband or with my wife. Because they mad again. And now I can come to a service and can't enter in. You done been there. Anybody done been there? I can't enter in. Why? Because you're worshiping each other and they're not making a demand on me. Because what they're saying, I will be like, not demand worship. Their ego got to be worshipped. Their attitude got to be worshipped. Their feelings got to be worshipped. Their attitude has to be worshipped. You the servant, they the all. Manipulation, let's talk about it. Can we talk about it? Y'all all right? Y'all better stop demanding worship from your spouse based off how you feel. Manipulation is when a person uses controlling and harmful behaviors. Watch this. Number one, to avoid responsibility. One thing about a narc, she hates accountability. And if you get accountability for them, it's just something to shut you up, but they didn't feel it and they didn't mean it. So they will lie, they will deceive, they'll say you crazy, all so I don't have to be accountable. It ain't never my fault. I always got to blame it on somebody else. Even if I'm wrong, I'm going to pick out something you did wrong so we both can be wrong. So we both can look like we're in the same spot. So you can't put no weight on me. I got to manipulate the situation. Who is the greatest manipulator? Satan. He's the prince and the power of this air. So he can shift dimensions. And we, as his children, sit there and shift a whole dimension in our house just to not look wrong or take responsibility. Or we'll go to crying on the spot so our husband will be sensitive to us. Harmful behavior is to avoid responsibility or to conceal their true intentions, which is a form of control. The problem is you just have a problem with control. Can't nobody tell you nothing. Okay, it ain't nobody, because I can tell you something. Your husband and your wife can't. They're going to get on that. Everybody but you. You'll go out here and listen as I can ear throw. But that woman can't tell me now. She gon' nah. And she been told you before. And then I'll come and say the same thing. And you be like, oh, thank you, Lord, Chief. And the man don't come. I said, I was saying that before you met you. But she can't tell. There's trauma somewhere. There's a deficit somewhere. Conceal their true intentions. Or their job is the manipulation job is to cause doubt or confusion. Why is doubt and confusion important for manipulators? That's a question. So you can't catch them in a lie? The victim can trust the manipulator more and not their own thoughts for themselves. Because the goal of the manipulator is to make the manipulatee, whatever you call that, feel, wait. It's to make them feel that they can't trust themselves, that they need this person. If I make you feel like you got to have me, you won't move and make decisions without me. And I love it. And we do it subconsciously. Cause confusion and doubt. Manipulation tactics such as gaslighting, lying, blaming, criticizing, shaming can be incredibly damaging to a person's psychological well-being. Can you imagine going through 400 years of oppression? Then going through generational curses in your bloodline. And then you mess around and get married to another oppressor. Y'all single people, man, y'all better be listening whenever we have these marriage stuff. Don't sit there and just be talking about that ain't for me with your crazy behind. How you gonna say something that silly? And you want to be married? That's one of the dumbest phrases I know. I'm single, but third Shabbat ain't for me. That is dumb as a box of rocks. Unless you plan on being single the rest of your life. No, think about that. Because it's about redeeming your bloodline. It's about bringing in the holy seeds. It's about staying strong to the covenant. Why wouldn't I want to conform to what I'm hearing, listening to problems so I can learn the solution, so I can already be a solution when somebody come get me? I'm not finna have y'all problems. That's what y'all need to be saying. I'm not finna have their problems. I'm learning from them. That I already got the wisdom. You hear what I'm saying? I already understand. I'm asking. I'm watching. I'm looking at couples. Asking why they do that. Asking why they don't do that. Why? Because I want my marriage to me. Or you can just sit there and say that ain't for me and get in marriage and behind you looking crazy. I don't like that kind of talk. But we got to see this now. We got to see this. I talked about this a long time, a little while back. Now, this is how. You ever notice how some of the most fearful people can be the most arrogant? And the most arrogant people can be the most sensitive people. We have to understand this dynamic, right? I want to show you again, I showed you before, but I want to show you what the narcissist look like. Now, on this hand, that's the inward aspect of the narcissist. On this hand is the outward portrayal of the narcissist. So, because he has had rejection and fear of rejection, she has an inner torment and defense mechanism that always trying to not be rejected. And because of the fear of rejection, it causes them to create personalities and to protect themselves at all costs. But the outward projection is rebellion. I'm going to do what I want to do. Self-will, selfishness, stubbornness. I can have accusations towards either. I can project people. Why? Because inwardly I have self-accusations in my head. If y'all can just visit what's going on in my head, my mind accuses me. It messes me up. But I have to make somebody feel what I feel, so I'll project it subconsciously on my spouse and have accusation after accusation against them and make them pay for my past mistakes. And it causes me to be a rebel to any established authority or anything that possibly makes me feel like I felt growing up. And this is how you can have a good man or a good woman in front of you, but subconsciously you take the pain of your father, of what he did or not did, what your mother did or not did, and project it on the person that is in front of you as your husband and wife that have been sent to save you. Now, the anger that you had against them comes out at your spouse. Because you need somebody to project it to. If you lost control, you become a rebel to anything trying to control you. Think about how angry you get if you feel like you're being controlled in any way. Your rebellion comes out. So you got to shake things up so you be back in control. So what happened to you, you won't feel that again in the cycles of reoccurring things. Y'all hear me talk? Because of the trauma that I've been through that caused me to feel rejection, I reject myself and who I am because I experienced all this rejection out. That causes me to create lust and fantasy world. Because if my world that's real is not safe for me, then I have to create it from my ideology of what makes me feel comfortable. This is how some of us go so far into perversion, because at least perversions bring us some type of happiness or fulfillment. Like a young lady that never experienced a father to give her direction, give her purpose, give her identity. And the father that she knows rejects her, won't even be in her life. It's a deficit that's created in her or him that drives them to have a greater experience than what they're experiencing with their father. So what do? They create a fantasy world of lust based off what they believe that this teenager can provide to them. So now they more in love with the thought of love rather than love, because they creating their world. So now I done talked on you on the phone with 2 times and I love you. The seeking of the addiction. That's it. The addiction is what drives them to this, that makes them create that world. So now I got to add to this world, and I put fantasies on this world. To living. That I become great at giving my body to another person just to recreate a world that I don't feel safe in, not realizing I'm making my world even worse. What is that doing again? Creating a world. That's the world that you live in. You don't feel safe. All right, let's keep going. Let's look at some of the tactics of manipulation. Okay? Because I want us to be able to recognize this to help each other. You got to understand a lot of the things that you deal with inwardly, especially with jealousy and envy, it makes you suspicious about everybody and distrust everybody. All right, so let's look at it. Let's look at some of the tactics of manipulation. Layman language. All examples of manipulation in relationship control how someone thinks or behaves. Regardless of the motivation, language is still one of the most powerful ways to sow seeds of doubt. Blame is personal. Most people stop and think when they get accused of not being their ideal best. That's when you start doubting yourself and wondering if it's you or if it's your partner. Imagine hearing all day statements such as manipulating language that says, you are overreacting, you're imagining things, you wouldn't question it if you really loved me. Any normal person would start succumbing and do whatever the speaker wanted them to do. Manipulators start blaming you for everything. All you're trying to do is bring up, like, this is what happened to us the other day, and I don't want to this is understanding. And then instead of dealing with what you said, they next statement is, why are you trying to mess up everything? Everything is going wrong. Or they do the body language. But a relationship is supposed to be where we can communicate, where we can talk. But then if I bring it to you, it's like World War III. You got bombs just waiting to blow off and go off on you, rather than dealing with what's in front of us. Keep going. Blackmail. Emotional blackmail is another critical example of manipulation in relationships. People do this by giving a silent treatment or sarcasm to get what they want. They might even accept to do something you want to later use as a bargaining tool. Psychiatrist Susan Ford in her book Emotional Blackmail took things one step further and defined what is referred to FOD, using fear, obligation, and guilt. Essentially, blackmailers want something from you and they'll pressure you through those emotions to force you to give in. This is why even as friends, you got to be careful what you're telling each other. Because people will hold things against you. Keep going. Repackaging of the truth. One of the most obvious examples of manipulation in a relation is that when they twist the truth or leave things out. And you'll find yourself almost doing a double take as when you listen to your manipulator and realize that their truth makes them look so much better. You ever been in a situation where both of you was there, it happened last night, and you coming to tell the head of your household about it, and your spouse tell it like, oh, wait, you looking like, no, wait. Because in your mind, you're like, I know they wouldn't sit here and lie like that. You looking like, no, it didn't happen like that. Now they telling the story. Yeah, we was at the house, and me and my wife, she said some things to me, and she shouted, and all I did was, I told her don't do that. And I shut the door, and I went in there and made dinner. She looking like, oh wait. Like this, we gonna do this? Like this? So you looking like, oh, that's what you did. Now you hit with, should I keep the confidence and just let them have it? Or should I bust them out? Now, if you bust them out, they're going to be like, I feel like you ain't got my back even when it comes to leadership. So now you go home. Hey, what am I supposed to do? Is it between, am I married to the leadership or my spouse? And your spouse might ask you that. Who you married to? But then he didn't say, you out here lying. The more you protect a narc, the more control they have over your life. The more you try to save that image, and that image is a demon that you are allowing to stay, because you won't bring truth and expose a lie. I don't care who it is. But you looking like, I know that story ain't go like that. I was there. The worst part is if you start denying their truth and arguing that they're wrong, that's when they might use the full force of their manipulation communication style and get more gruesome and very personal and nasty. They might start yelling at you, calling you stupid, saying you crazy. Or get what the men call, I just got passionate, got to raise my voice. So now you're trying to use intimidation because she's a woman. And going to tell me it's passion. Passive aggressiveness. One of the frustrating examples of manipulation in relationships is that when people don't say what they mean, they stay silent and give a glare at you, leaving you trying to guess what's wrong. Just sitting there in their room. You come home. Hey, baby. Hey. You okay? I'm all right. You sure? Why you keep pressing me? I was in a good mood and you come home to mess my mood up because you just want to argue with me. Then you get mad. Who you yelling at? See how you doing? You try to intimidate me now. Just hit me there. You want to do it? You want to do it? We laughing, but we do it in different measures. You can sit there with that attitude, you'll just get the line talking about ain't nothing wrong. Something wrong with you. Something is wrong. You in there, you cooking and slamming pots down and all of that to show you upset. Somebody call you, hey child, I'm here with him. Here with him. Go ahead.
just real quick, also to be transparent, because this is something that I had found of myself at one point. With manipulating and passive aggressiveness, sometimes that thing come out like, say, the manipulator, which would be me in the situation, the wife comes with a problem or an issue, and instead of facing a problem, a manipulator would be like, well, I just do it because I got to be the man and I got to do this and this. It's almost like an instant aggressive accountability. Like they just want to almost put shame on the other person for asking. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
it's almost like it don't be genuine.
Right.
It's almost to shut them down.
To shut them up.
To shut them up, right. And also make them feel bad because now I'm putting too much on them. And he already dealing with it. Now I got to be the man. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do what I got to do. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just really to shut the woman down. And to have her next time think twice before she come back up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, because everything is a training. Everything is a training. I'm going to teach you how to approach me. I want you to have 2 and 3 thoughts before you bring something serious to me. So all I got to do is act up a couple of times and make it real uncomfortable. And then now I got you thinking before you bring me a problem. Now I can let you sit there and simmer in something. Threats of separation. According to research, we get scared because of what could happen or our inability to predict it. This is a powerful tool for subtle manipulation tactics because fear keeps us bubbling away at the back of our mind, always saying things about separation. Man, I don't know. Man, my mama told me not to do this. Man, I had second thoughts at that wedding. I knew it. My ex-wife told me that you was going to be like you are. Ex-wife told me. She said it. Constant drama. Examples of manipulation in relation are used in the revolve around drama. So you find your partner might make sweeping judgments or generalizations about you. All right, let me run through this. Pretending confusion, like this is the part in counseling. Like I can't stand it. Now you want to act like you stupid. You know what your husband asking you. You know what your wife's saying. Well, you know, I kind of misunderstood what you saying. You know, I don't really get all what you mean. This ain't hard. This ain't no hard question. This ain't hard. But now you're going to pretend confusion. Or we ask you, do you remember what your spouse just said happened? And you like, nah, I forgot. I forgot what I said. I don't think I said that, though. But I forgot. Using anger intimidation. Making vague boundaries. Playing the victim. Overcompensate with flattery. Impose their agenda on everything. You can't have just a conversation with the brothers. Your wife got to come in and impose herself. She ain't never watched basketball, but she got to come in there because she have to show some type of dominance. And she have to watch who's listening to you, who you listening to, who's influencing you. Changing opinions. You'll be dogmatic on something and telling your wife, telling your husband, just what it is, just what I believe, this what we stand on. Because you use it as a form to control her. But then when you do it, now you got a new revelation on it. Yeah, I was in prayer the other day, and you would change that. So he changed it since you did. This is what the house gonna do. This is for the house. I've been watching Man of the Covenant, and the covenant say we're supposed to do this, and Chief say we're supposed to be the men of our house, and we're supposed to have a vision. And then something happened, and you don't fulfill that. Now the whole dynamic of the vision got to change because you messed up rather than just saying, you know what, I'm sorry. I messed up on that. If you even got a vision. These men told, wait, let me pause. Women, did these men tell you what the vision of their houses was? They're supposed to do that last year. Every woman, y'all know what the vision of your house is? Oh, man, be quiet. I say, do you know the vision of your houses? Who don't know? It's all right, because we're going to get him. Okay. Raise your hand if you don't know. Who haven't seen it? Let me say it like that. Who haven't seen the vision? Raise your hand for your household. Raise them high. Baby, you ain't married. Why you got your hand up? The vision of you. It's for married people. I'm talking about their husbands. All right, so we got to tighten that up. We got to tighten that up, guys. Okay, we need to have that done. Guilt trip. Regardless of which examples of emotional manipulation you're living through, you feel guilty at some point. Ultimately, you're starting to doubt yourself, wondering if you are the cause of all these issues. The best manipulators will then play with your guilt to even more out you out. It's actually another form of gaslighting because you start feeling responsible for something that you never did. You then try to change your behavior, but the manipulator knows that they got you, buddy. We'll get on that stuff a little bit later. Plain ignorance. The manipulative communication style that makes the manipulator simply look dumb is usually frustrating to the victim. Add to that all the confusion and pain, and your emotional health will be screaming for help. Generally, the overall goal is to avoid doing whatever you need done. It can also be a way of avoiding helping around the house or with the kids. As an example of manipulation in a relationship, though, this is one that aims to frustrate you into doing whatever the manipulator wants. You always got a reason. Some come up when you need to be helping with them children. You all of a sudden got a brothers meeting that I can't your throat on nobody. Your meeting is going to go play ball. But you told her it's a brothers meeting. Women, let me say this. I got to backtrack on some stuff that I've been saying for years. I don't know if it yielded the wrong result. See, I got to backtrack. Now, a couple daughters. I would say, when dealing with the children, about how it was with me, with Shalom at the house, and how I understand how it can be trying to make sure that the house is tidied up before your spouse gets home, dealing with a baby. I felt that. I felt what it felt like to sit there in one position for 6 hours. Sit down on that couch like this. And the baby went to sleep, and then you think, okay, I can just move. I put her down. And you move, and you turn your back. Ah! You had to just sit there. Before you know it, stuff all on the floor. Boston came home. I understood that. Now, hear me talking. I did not say that for you to be okay with being sorry. That man should not have to work all day, all week, and you don't work, and he come home and he got to clean up. I didn't say that for that. I said that to give you time to get it together. So he won't be coming home with some extra weight. But I didn't say that for you to sit down and just be like, well, you know what Chief said. Chief know what we talking about. So you going to be all right. It's what it is. Hallelujah. Y'all don't like that. Look at you. I didn't say that for that to happen. You want to get you a system. You want to get you a system. Hallelujah. Praise Yahushua. I had to go back. See, y'all done got quiet. Now, I be on the men hard all the time. Y'all don't like that kind of talk, dude. Thank you. Thank you, mothers. Clap somebody. That's the truth, man. That's the truth. Work that thing out. Okay? Work it out. Praise Yahushua. And yes, I double down. 10 toes. Let's get it together. Hallelujah. Oh, it ain't like that. They ain't like that right there. I felt you. That's how some of y'all women wanted to look at me right there. We got to tighten up. We got to do a little better now. Praise Yahushua. I say praise Yahushua. All right. Hallelujah. The narcissistic spouse tactics. Now we're going to talk about the narcissistic husband, and then we're going to talk about the narcissistic wife. Hallelujah. We're going to rock these two out. You're probably going to find yourself in there. Hallelujah. That first part was just a little, open the womb up just a little bit. Start going fast. I know I'm going to find you right here. Let's talk about, remember, to the narcissist. It's never about equality of fulfilling needs concerning each other's role as king and queen. It's about making the other person my subject to worship my need above all things. Whatever you're in a relationship and you always finding yourself apologizing, you better check that relationship. If you always got to be the lamb, and they always get to be the lion. In certain conversations, you know, I can't say. Why you can't say that? No, I want to ask you that. Why is there certain conversations you can't bring up? It shouldn't be nothing that you can't bring to your wife. Nothing that you can't bring to your husband. But somebody needs a subject. They don't want no husband. They don't want no wife. Let's go. Now I'm going to talk about men and insecurity for a minute. All right? Women, you know. Okay? Just say amen in your ruach. Just say it because we can be insecure. I ain't going to give you the answer in this lesson. I'm just giving you the digging up the problem. What is insecurity? The American Psychological Association reports that insecurity is multifaceted. It pertains to an overall sense of uncertainty or anxiety about one's own worth, abilities, skills, and value as a person. Conveying the message that you are at risk or in danger of losing something or someone. It has a negative impact on your physical, mental, and emotional state. And without that security you're looking for, it makes you feel that you can't live up to your fullest potential. You'll be amazed at how many men deal with low self-esteem. And because of their insecurities, they control their wives. Some of the symptoms of insecurity include overriding feeling of inadequacy. A lack of feeling self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth. You feel like you're unable or ill-equipped to cope with stressors, generally uncertain about the world or anxious about your relationship with others. Insecurity can present itself in behaviors that are either others-focused or others-avoidance. Let's keep going. The inward versus an outward target. An outward target can be the wife. Now, when a man has very, 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 very low self-esteem and has insecurities, he's full of different little fears. And these fears control him and it rules his ability. If I have all those things going on at the inside, I'm feeling low, I have low self-esteem, I have fear of rejection, then outwardly my subconscious have to make somebody else feel that way. And we do it without even thinking. Because we carry around all this stress and these things that's within us that has to be projected out. Because what? We got to pretend at the job. We got to pretend for the boss. We got to pretend for all of these things like we good, like everything 100%. Somebody got to get the real thing. And a lot of times, our wife becomes the target of our fears and our anxiety. She asks you to do something, you blow up on it. Instead of just telling her you're afraid, you have to somewhat still feel that you are a man. So now you have to hurt her feelings. So she won't come to you in that way no more because you feel vulnerable unless even admitting to these things. And guess what? She'll never know that. But that's the way to keep her off you. She is punished because of your past or your past sins. Because the last girl did me like that and she left me and she did me like that, you in front of me. So you're going to get some of the punishment that I wanted to give her. I'm telling y'all, we do this subconsciously. You're going to get some of the punishment of this baby mama. Because I feel like a simp. Of this ex-wife, because I feel like a simp. And she did me like that. So I have to punish you because you are the target of my fears and my anxiety that comes out as my rebellion against you. And my way of controlling you because I don't want you to feel that I'm weak. And this is why everybody else can tell you something but her. Because she has to be the one I control. She has to be the one that I'm still a man in my mind. So I have to keep the false idea of a man to her by keeping her under my control because really I'm just afraid. So if I have inward accusations, inward confessions all the time, inward hate and anger, I need an outward target that can feel what I feel inside. So this is why some men make a good marriage miserable. Why? They're miserable with evil. And if it's hitting them, it has to hit an outward target. And guess what? You signed up for it. All based off anxiety, fears. He expects the ideal wife, but no accountability in his actions. She's supposed to do everything she's supposed to do, but you have no accountability. You won't stand up and be a man. You won't do what you're supposed to do. You won't handle business. You won't be a spiritual head, but you want her to cook, clean, and fish your plate and bring it to you when you ain't did nothing to be a head to show her an image of a man. What do you mean? How can you make requirements? Nothing about you says man of Yahuwah, a covenant. But somewhere in your mind, you make demands on her with no accountability to her or the Most High. You get to relax. You get to stay in pocket, not get pushed, not move, not do nothing. Depend on her for prayer, depend on her for teaching. But she's supposed to give you a clean house, run your bath water, and sex with no identity of a king in his house. No identity of a king. No identity of a king. Why? Because of anger, rejection, trauma, pain that we box in. Men think we keep things in, but we don't. We got to get it out, but it's just how we get it out.
One thing we don't want to do as a man is let conviction play in our head. Because then we're owed to do something that's outside of what we think our nature is. One of the hardest things for our people is the fact that the one thing we needed more than a civil rights bill, more than equality to vote, we needed counseling. You can't go through that and then think you can go get 40 acres and a mule. You can't go through somebody telling you you can't drink from a water fountain and say, give me a job with you on the same place. Something's got to be dealt with. Counseling. That's why Yahuwah, even in this time, is raising up counselors. And we fail to read the sign. Because I'm my own man. I mean, I hear Moray, but I put on my pants one leg at a time just like he do. Because it ain't about position of manhood. This is about the restoration of your mind. Our mind needs, that's why we need the mind of Adam and Eve. So we have to take this in accord to say, something within us got to say, I see this part, now what do I need to do? Go to your elder, talk to your wife. Get some direction. It's okay, because a lot of us have been through some things. You can't get molested and say, I'm too, because the awakening came. You can't get raped and say, I'm just ready to get married. That'll place that hold on me. Because that's what we've done. I just need to get married. That'll patch things up. The idea of marriage. And I'll say from my generation, we are very responsible for that, because we love the idea of marriage. We never love the responsibility. Because we'll ask our elders, well, what does it take? Work. Why? Because you are becoming one with something that you never had attachments to before. So you got to really let a person in that you ain't never did that before. Even with your homeboys, there's stuff you ain't going to tell them, because my manhood got to be protected. But it's going to get out. Because she just like, I just thought that I could make you happy. I just want to be. Right.
I wonder if there's some type of hatred what have I done to cause him to be like this? But it's based off of all these insecurities and past trauma and childhood trauma that somebody has to face, that plagues us within, that we need a target to let it out. And it might not be all at the same time hard, but it sneaks out. And it shows out based on your numbness with your wife. He expects her to be his savior, but destroys every avenue which she tries to heal. She's supposed to heal everything, understand everything, speak to everything. You making it her responsibility rather than Yahusha to fix something in you that you showing her you don't even want to. But you put the responsibility on her and the weight on her. And now she going around in circles. I don't know what to do with it. I'm trying to help him talk that out. He shut me down. I'm trying to spend time trying to work on our communication. You say, oh, God, our communication straight. We good. We don't need that. He got a good marriage. What you mean? That's them out there. All we got to do is get in the Word. But you've been in the Word with no result. To keep her in a constant circle. He has an ear for everyone else but his wife. When she tried to tell him something, all of a sudden, every time, pride shows up for some reason. And you know what pride will do? Pride will give you, or give that man, to give you an excuse for not growing. So he will always come up with an excuse rather than looking at you and just say, you know, baby, you're right. She becomes subjected to his accomplishments and diminishes hers. Her accomplishments is his mind, and his mind is an indictment to his frustrations with himself. Say that again. She becomes subjected only to his accomplishments. When he doing things good, everybody's supposed to have a party. Things supposed to be going. I mean, we supposed to bring out the balloons. But when she do something that she's skilled at, is good at, he has to find a way to cut her. Everybody else rejoicing by her. You got to find some type of sarcastic way to throw a jab at it. Why? Because her accomplishments frustrates him about what he is and having accomplished, putting him back in shame mode. So he can't be happy anything about her. He has to find some way to limit it. I don't care if it's a birthday, anything like that. He gonna find a way to mess it up. If she getting a reward and everybody gonna be there, she gonna find a way to mess it up. She gonna find a way to jig at him. With a sarcastic way. Oh no, baby, I don't think you should do that like that. Because of his own inward frustration. Go ahead.
So, in regards to the outlet, it just what it came to mind was our ancestors, even like not even like going all the way back, but even just in segregation, how I can just imagine how being a father, going out, going to work, getting oppressed, getting kicked, chased home, called all type of names, and then going home to your family and trying to eat. Ain't no way they love they wives properly and their children. That's why through our bloodline, you have a lot of men that will beat and rape our grandmas and children. That stuff running our bloodline. So it's so important for us to ask for forgiveness for our forefathers and our ancestors just 80 years ago.
Right.
Because that stuff has came on us, and it may not be the same, look the same, but it's still, you know what I'm saying? We go through trauma and then go home to our wives and do the same thing that they did back then. Make them a punching bag. That's it. The whole family, you know? So it's just part of it.
What it is, let's read this. He gaslights you. Gaslighting is very harmful form of emotional abuse. It occurs when someone denies things you know to be true. He may claim that you didn't remember correctly or things that you did that didn't happen the way you thought, or perhaps certain things happened because of your action. He manipulates you. One of the key traits of narcissistic partners is manipulation. They may make subtle threats or make you feel responsible for everything that goes wrong. You may get a sense that you need to do whatever they want to do or something bad will happen to you. He never takes responsibility. The king of blame shift. You ever just went to your spouse, your husband, just to talk to him about something? Before you know it, you think you hear him about the last 3-4 things you did wrong. He moved the goalpost. There's no compromise. Every time we think we came to a certain end, now the goalpost is moved. Now we got it. That ain't good enough. Well, you say, well, baby, just tell me what it means, to what's your form of love and touch? Well, I just need you to come home and cook, make to the house, make sure the house clean. You gone, you master that. You cooking and make sure the house clean. Then he still miserable. You think that's all it is? Yeah. You did that like you didn't want to do it. Now the goalpost is moved again. Now it's never coming to a compromise. He believes, but one thing about him, he the king of double standard now. Anything you do, that's against the vision of the house. Well, let him do it. Well, Yahusha covered a multitude of sins. I'm telling you, we setting this house up now. We setting this house up. Ain't nobody gonna raise their voice in this house. All right? I ain't gonna raise my voice. You don't raise yours neither. We talking to each other the way it needs to be. That's the rule of the house. That's what we're establishing now. Time he get upset. Woman, did I tell you? I thought we weren't raising our voice. I thought that was the Torah. Well, you shouldn't have got me to this place. But you went in on me the other day when it felt like I just rolled my eyes and you just and said something and you called that I was yelling at you. And now you screaming at me. That ain't the same thing. My voice just heavy. I wasn't yelling. And she got to sit there like, oh man, this dude is a liar. This dude a liar. But one thing about him, he can be doing all that terrible stuff, but he think he's an extraordinary person. And you be sitting there like, man, this ain't nothing. And let me tell you what'll burn you up. If he he acting like that, and he picked this mic up, and he get to declaring and praying. This Negro don't pray at home, won't read a scripture with you, won't pray. Hopper, in the name of Yahushua, speak to your stomach. Or he got a word or a prophecy. This joker watch cartoons all day. You don't be with me all the time. I be praying on my way to work. I be praying you everywhere I be. Me and Yahuwah got that kind of relationship. Another clear sign of a narcissistic person is that they believe that they are extraordinary. He can't handle criticism. He always offended and defensive before you even get it out. He ready to cut you down. Who you talking to? Baby, just trying to let you know. Well, who made you my teacher? I'm just saying, when I sleep with her, I make sure that the dust is all the way down. I just sleep it in. And all I'm saying, if you just found a few crumbs, you sweep it. Well, you sweep the floor from now on then. How about that? I'm trying to help you out. Trying to help you out. I always got something to say. You know what? I ain't sweeping the floor no more. How about that? Let's criticize something small. Maybe in service, all I'm saying is, when you wear a longer shirt, okay? That's kind of what the reader said. See, man, just can't serve you who ain't shalom. You always saying something, criticizing. Can't take no constructive criticism. Anybody ever experienced that? Don't raise your hand. I was trying to see if I gonna get you. They become World War III just by trying to give advice. Or they'll get real prideful and say, well, you can't tell that. I thought I was supposed to be your partner. I thought we were supposed to do things together. He often criticizes you. The husband will be very critical of you and might make constant comments about your appearance and put you down in other ways. Baby, you're getting kind of round. Hey, you might need to go to the gym now. You might need to go to the gym now, because listen, come on. You're getting real skinty. Oh, that had a little ugly on you. Why don't you go get some I can't even think of it right now. No, yeah, why don't you go get your lace front? Put up there. And then they start going to the hair salon with you, picking out the hairstyles. Because they trying to make you look like they ex. Living in a fantasy. Trying to make you look like that woman on that pornography. So if I feel like I get you in the gym, you can start looking a little bit closer to her. I got to keep jugging at you. Nah, baby, that ain't your color. You too dark for that. You too light for that. When you gonna go fix yourself up? You just trying to do everything. 1 month you big. Next month you skinny. You trying to do any and everything. Baby, put some makeup on. You go put makeup on. I don't like that. You know, take the makeup off. You take it off. You need to go put some eyelashes in your eye. You go put eyelashes on. You just ripping and running. He killing your self-esteem, making you think your beauty is based off his hands. Then he can control your self-esteem. It'll make you feel like you can never have nobody else. Because beauty is in his eyes. Y'all people live in this. It makes you feel vulnerable. If you have a narcissistic husband, then he may feel a lot of pressure to do. You might feel a lot of pressure to do what they believe to be the right thing. This can lead to depression, low self-esteem, fatigue. If your self-worth is based in your husband's opinion of you, then you will feel very vulnerable. Someone with narcissistic personality disorder feels secure when their relationship looks good on the outside, but their partner is actually very dependent on them. He might strive to keep control over you and the relationship through constant criticism, impossible demands, or withholding affection until you do what they want. Nah, babe, I don't like the way you cook. That tastes awful. Terrible. Man, I'm going to have to go let my mama cook that for me. Withholding affection, won't hug you, show you no intimacy, but all in assembly, just hugging sister. Praise Yahushua for your Koti. I just love you. Hallelujah. I've been just thanking Yahuwah for you. Sister, you okay? Yahuwah showing me something. You're right. Praise Yahushua. Just want to make sure you was fine. I ain't never told his wife beautiful. Oh, this little baby. You little baby. You're so beautiful. Look at your eyes. Look at your eyes. I love you. You know how to give affection to the little babies, but you don't know how to give affection to your wife. But you got to control her. She get affection when I say she can. Because I want to create her dependent on me. So when I want to punish her, I'm going to punish her. There's no connection in the marriage. We just together. We out here. Only thing keeping us together is Torah. That's it. We ain't got no affection. I don't really like you as a friend. If we weren't married, I wouldn't even hang out with you. Hey, y'all wild, but we got some people like that. They wouldn't hang out if they weren't married. Praise Yahushua, they came through this ministry and we helping them. For real. Y'all got together straight off the word because I wanted a man of Yahuwah and she looked like a daughter of Zion. And we was burning, so we just got together, but we don't know each other. And now we in this thing and realize, oh, snap. We actually got to be married. All them scriptures done wore off now. Yeah, them scriptures done wore off. A little world you created. You thought it was just going to be, we got the Torah-itic relationship. And now the Torah done roll off. What you going to do? We're just looking at each other now. I don't know how to keep this woman. She don't know how to keep me. But we sure look good together. All she needed was a head wrap and all I needed was a Bible. Let's get married. Yeah. But there's no real connection. You just, in your marriage, and the connection is dead. It ignores your needs. Only need he want to take care of is your sexual need. But any other emotional need he can care of. He desires to share in his mood swing. I woke up on the bad side of the bed, I couldn't make you mad. Because you can't have happiness. And you just wake up every day and he just in a funk. And you just as happy in Yahushua, and then he just got on that black nerve. That black nerve. It don't take y'all long now. That black nerve, you doing all that. Before you know it, y'all at each other. And now he feel good, but now she feel what I feel. Because she can't have happiness outside of it. So if I'm mad, I'm going to make her mad. We're going to share in our moods. Now, if you got an old husband like me, it's going to be rough on you. Like, all right, I'm holler at you. I don't know what's wrong with you or what side of the bed you woke up on. Bet y'all finna get up out of here and go somewhere and have me a good time. And then I'm aggravated. You know, I like to aggravate people and get on people's nerves. So I be sitting up playing some music, just dancing and having a good time. You said, come over here. Come on over here. I'll make you madder now. I'll be singing all kind of songs, getting on your nerves. I'll be like, just looking out of the window, watching it ever grow, thinking how it all looks, family time, good time, oh yeah. I'll be looking at you, keeping your head above water. See, that's what's wrong. You ain't kept your head above water today. Making a way when you can. I'll be like, say it, baby. She mad. Say it. I said, temporary layoff. Easy cuttings and rip-offs. Scratching and surviving. Just looking out of the window. I'm telling you, he ain't gonna rain on my parade. I like to play, and you can't outplay me. I play all day. I'm telling you now, I get on your nerves all day. Okay, you'll be trying. She be trying to match me out like, dog, you see, you got me right now, but wait, you go get tired. I play all day now. Sure. But yeah, just watch now. Once they get in the mood, you can't play the game now. They be in a bad mood, don't you get pulled in there? Like, okay, baby, I see you need to go, you need to lay that down. It's all right to say that. You need to go lay that down now, because we ain't doing that. He becomes envious of your personality. Especially if you can relate easily to people and people easily come to you. There's some type of rejection in him that makes him not understand why that is happening to him. So now he has to isolate you from people. Because your ability to be around people reminds him of his insecurities. So now your friends, he begins to discredit you and say why you shouldn't hang around, why you shouldn't be around it. Then let alone say your mama. Oh, you and your mama having a problem? Yeah, your mama crazy. Now some of y'all mama crazy. So don't get me wrong. Listen, take that around with it. Some of your mamas is crazy. But the goal of a narc is to isolate you from those that you have an ear in their life and they have an ear in their life. Because he's trying to be the only ear. He don't want you going to mama. He don't want you going to sister. He don't want you going to friend. He wants to be the rule in your life. Let's keep going. You have to tread carefully all the time. If you have a narcissist partner, then you may feel as if you was constantly walking on eggshells. How many of y'all feel like that? Y'all smart. Constantly walking on eggshells because you can't predict they move. Man, just moody. Everything might seem like it's okay one minute, but then suddenly there is a rage. The reason may seem trivial. You'll be like, how in the world this little situation got this big? You feel like you need to avoid conversations. He might feel like every conversation turns into an argument. Even if you try to avoid getting upset by what they say, they will know how to get you to react. Controlling your emotions, give them a sense of sensation. He makes you feel unloved. He once showered you with love, but now you might ignore or devalue you. This if the shift is a sign that how they were at the beginning of the relationship was not a true representation of them. They would take advantage of you financially. One thing about a narc, he's going to find some type of way to get over on you. To take one of your credit cards and run it up. You like, all the money that we were saving up, you actually using it for stuff. And now, we broke. And he wants you to just live with it. Well, listen, I was trying to help family. I was trying to do what I tried to do over here. But you weren't going to tell me nothing. And you know what? I had this money saved. This was the money I had saved up before we got married. I put blood, sweat, and tears in this account. You ain't added none yet. But promises and dreams. But now we won. So your money was my money. Ain't that what you say? So I was trying to hustle. Because I ain't got no job yet. So I was trying to hustle for the family. Trying to be the head. That's what you said. And you and your feelings need a whole deliverance service to keep you in your right mind. One of the main things he done cheated on. Someone with narcissism usually flirts a lot and may have even cheated on you. He knows how to sweep people off their feet, and they might purposely make you feel jealous by flirting with other women. Because he has to, one thing about guys, we do love the chase. There's something in us, and this is just the truth. There's something in us about conquering, using our game to conquer a woman. It's something. They would talk to her slick, get in her head, get her emotions tied to that piece out of here. And all the little gibbles and so tiny, you know, crazy boy. Just crazy. So you say, so hey, I'm more than crazy now. And she's like, what you mean? What you mean you more than crazy? And you be like, slip up and find out. And how them girls do? They love that chase, because that chase feeds that ego. Your wife know who you are. She know that's dead, bro. And you ain't talked to her in a long time. But the women out there on that job, and you talking slick, you just out there just smiling out there, and them women just flocking at you. Just a smiling? Or y'all better be careful going to them gyms too. Listen. I still got a membership. I ain't went up there. Devil be in that gym, boy. Hear me talk. He sent them up there now. He sent them up there. You be trying to work out. Oh, trouble. Satan, get off my eyes. Turn my head loose. Then I go that way. Don't turn it loose the other way. Don't turn it loose. I got to lift weights like this. Listen, man. women come in the gym in that kind of way. Telling you, man, it's good. Listen, better get a home workout gym. Look at it on the video. If you can handle it now. I'm talking about me. I get in all in kind of trouble because I'm trying to keep a covenant with mine. And if a woman beautiful, I don't care how religious you and spiritual you are, she's beautiful. I ain't gay. I ain't got none of that in me. I ain't got no lean beef in me. I'm 100% beef. No lean out here. I ain't got no diabetes neither. My blood rich. Ain't no sugar in my blood. Ain't no diabetes. Ain't no diabetic. Blood straight. My blood straight out here. Hallelujah. All right, so now we're moving to the women and we're going to be done, okay? Men, y'all all right? I know it's a little rough. It's a little quiet. We're going to get on them sisters. All right, now, so protect their effort, integrity, love it, right? I want to go to this slide. I'm going to let this sister talk. This is very important, especially single people. Listen to this. I couldn't say it better than this way that this lady said the way she broke it down. I want you to hear it. Yeah, we're going to go in on it. Go in on y'all now. go in now. But this, I have never heard this like the way she broke it down. But it's so easy to get us because of this. Let me let her speak to it. Y'all don't do her like that. Don't do her like that. This ain't about looks. Not what she said. Don't do her like that now. She's smart too. Okay. All right, hello. Yeah, we're going to need to put that mic up there. You can sit right there.
Especially if you've been in more than one, then this information will help you recognize the traps and tactics that the female covert narcissist will use on you. And I will also explain the reasons you don't always run when you see these red flags. This information is not about blaming or shaming you. It's really about helping you identify what makes you more prey to the female covert narcissist and how to protect yourself from her. My videos on mental illness are for educational purposes only. So if you are looking to learn more about narcissistic personality disorder and other mental illnesses, as well as how to handle and protect yourself, then you're in the right place. But if you need support, please seek help. As much as NPD is a serious mental illness, it does not give that person the right to hurt you. You are not put on this earth to survive someone else's abusive behavior. So the first thing I want you to know, if you are in a relationship with a female covert narcissist, there is no happy ending. So I'm going to jump right in. And first, I want to address what she is looking for in a partner. I believe there are only two types that she's interested in. One, another narcissist, which happens through a process of assortative mating, which is the subject of another video on narcissistic couples. But the second type of person they're attracted to has key characteristics. And I'm going to use the acronym PHIL, P-H-I-L, to describe this type of person that is so appealing to the female covert narcissist. And I will tell you why not only do these types of people get hooked and reeled in, but they also get anchored so that they can never leave. The P in PHIL stands for protector. The female covert narcissist wants someone with a strong protective instinct, someone who is naturally motivated to protect the people that they love. The H stands for helper. This is someone who is inclined to help others and to be of service, even to be a hero. The I stands for integrity, and this is someone who does what they say they're going to do. It's a person who keeps their promises, and this is super important when it comes to anchoring you. L stands for being loving. The female covert narcissist wants someone who is going to love her wholeheartedly, someone who will give her attention, affection, praise, and make her feel special on demand. So here's how it all plays out. So the first phase in the lures you. The narcissist believes she's special, so she has no problem making you believe it too. And she will come across as the most energetic, fun, smart, and sexy woman you have ever met. She will immediately fire you up emotionally, and she'll fire up your sex drive. Part of the female covert narcissist lure is almost always using sex as a weapon. She will bring out that passionate side in you and sexual excitement that you didn't even think existed in real life. She will sex bomb you. That's like love bombing, but in the bedroom. But the real key to the luring stage is showing you her vulnerable side and opening up to you in a way that she's never done before with anyone else. And she'll do this quickly. How you respond right here will determine whether you make the cut or whether she moves on to a more suitable fish. When you give her lots of empathy and compassion, she knows she can easily cast you into the hero role, making you feel like you are the only one in the whole wide world who can save her, protect her, and make her feel safe. You're the only one who understands her. You're the only one who can help. If you bite hard here, she knows that your protector, helper, hero instincts are high and that your need to be needed are strong enough to keep you enrolled in the long game. In this luring stage, she's also mapping you out emotionally to find out what are your insecurities? What are your deepest fears? What are those intimate secrets no one else knows about you? And in these deep conversations where you feel so connected, where she's opening up to you and you're opening up to her about things you've never talked to anyone else about before, well, this will be used against you later. She's asking a lot of questions about you because she's going to use the information to manipulate you. Now, as you will learn if you watch my video on myths about the female covert narcissist, many of these tactics are subconscious. Real UN. She usually does this in one of two ways. Either she creates a fake scenario to make it look like you've done something to hurt her deeply, or she simply pulls away, and when you ask why, she plays up her fears of being hurt. She talks about how she's been hurt in the past and how she's afraid you'll do the same. Again, she's playing on your helper instincts and your need to be needed. She's trying to elicit a response, and the response is a promise. She wants you to promise and profess that you are different. You would never do that to her. And she will pull out as many promises as possible from you because she already knows you're going to do everything in your power to keep those promises. Once those promises are made, that's hook, line, and sinker. But wait, there's more. Once she's reeled you in, she needs to anchor you so that you never leave. And she does this by playing on your integrity even more. Because you are someone who values your promises, she gets you to repeat those promises over and over under the pretense that she needs reassurance because she's so afraid, so vulnerable. And here's the caveat. She actually is incredibly sensitive and insecure. What she really needs here is for you to feel like you can never, ever break the promises and commitments you've made to her. Hence, the reason a smart, sensible person has such a hard time leaving this abusive relationship. And then she'll test you. She'll throw a few bombs in to make sure that you prove your integrity. And once you do, the real game of cat and mouse begins. In this case, if the game is still unclear to you, you are the mouse. You're the one being toyed with. Here is where the abusive push-pull cycle begins. That hot and cold, Jekyll and Hyde, or whatever you want to call it. It's that back and forth between pulling you in to meet her needs for attention and admiration, and then crushing you. And she'll crush you by highlighting your faults, your weaknesses, your insecurities, your fears, and you will be wondering where that sweet, sexy goddess went. Don't worry, she'll be back. Only it will be for shorter and shorter periods. The real goal in this stage is to confuse you, to make you question your judgment, your worth, to make you lose your individuality and blend right in with her, to make you feel like you are lucky to have her, and to ensure that you keep her, you will constantly praise her, and you'll never go again in your grasp. Of self, breaking you down. And if you start to pull away, she'll sense that right away, and she'll give you a glimpse of what attracted you to her. She might even build you back up slightly, like a cat who pretends to let the mouse go just to pounce on it again as it's getting away. And on top of all this, she'll separate you from your friends and family. She'll be insanely jealous when you give any attention to anyone else, even if it's your kids. She'll threaten to leave, and she'll do anything to exert more and more control over you. You basically become her possession. That's responsible for keeping her happy, making her look good, taking care of all her needs, while you get, well, nothing. And because you're a good person, someone who wants to protect and keep your loved ones happy and safe, someone who wants to keep your promises, all these amazing qualities when in the right hands, but when in the hands of the female covert narcissist, these are really, really detrimental to you. So if you're staying because you made promises or because you still think you can help her or save her, then you're staying for the wrong reasons. If you're staying because you think it's love, it is not. And in my opinion, the only thing worse than being in an abusive relationship is being in it for one more day. And if you manage to break loose or get discarded, don't go back. There is no such thing as no strings attached with a narcissist. Cut as many ties as possible, and if you're unlucky enough to be in a co-parenting relationship with a narcissist, then you'll want to check out my video on co-parenting with a narcissist. If you enjoyed this video, please.
There we get what she was saying. Man. See, the thing in us, we naturally want to be that protector. We naturally desire, oh yeah, that's that mic, pull that out. We have strong instincts to protect her and the hero. A lot of that is groomed in us from a child watching cartoons. Everybody wanted to be the hero. Everybody wanted to rescue the damsel in distress. But if you have one that knows how to pull those instincts out of you by being vulnerable before you and giving you all of her created secrets. And saying, I have never been able to really talk to somebody like I can talk to you. It just feel like we're just so free together. Just feel like, Yahuwah just sent you to me. You got to be my guardian angel. And then she tell you a terrible story that happened with her and the boyfriend, her and the ex-husband, her and this, to let you see and identify with that pain. Why she's connecting the dots to say how much y'all got in common. If you ain't really looking, you won't realize y'all really ain't got nothing in common, but she's trying to make, we like this and we like that. Y'all like each other, say, yeah, we love this. And you really ain't interested in it. But you acting like you like it. But she willing you in. She tells you her past to get you to inwardly promise to her that you will never do that based on what another dude did. Once you lock into that, she got you. Because then what she started doing, seeing how can she test, like I can say, test your gangster. Because some women want to see how far they can take it with you to see how far you will blow up. That's the weirdest thing to feel safe. Every husband and man, nobody. They want to see if you different, so they want to push buttons to see how far they can take it, to see what they're working with. Y'all Negroes did it. But once you come in, yeah, they're going to do it. I know she done did it, but mine done it too. She did. I couldn't understand it. Why are you just trying to make stuff difficult? Got to be like it. But, so you get that hero protective mode, then she gets you to inwardly make promise based off her pain. And now she can blow up on you. And once you get upset and feel a certain way, and you about done, you told me you different. You promised that you wouldn't be like what they did to me. And then you like, oh no, baby, no, baby. No, I'm not. It's okay that you threw a bowl over my head. You still healing. But I love you. And I'm going to protect you. Yeah. I love you and I'm going to protect you. Then that becomes a pattern. I got you. That becomes a pattern. Where you don't make her promise to statements, but she make you do it. And bring it up. See, you just like all the other men. This what you said, you gonna keep your promise? You showed me you was different. And it's always a double standard because you always bowing to her based off her trauma and based off you saying you're going to be the protector of her. So now you got to sit here in your mind and reason and just sitting there, when you do that, you watching that movie in your head. You ever been there? You mentally tired, you frustrated, and there's a movie that ain't nobody else see, and you just look at that. Watching that movie play. Should I stay or should I go? Maybe I ain't being patient enough. Maybe she just needs, she never really, her father one really in her life, so she just needs the last husband or boyfriend she was with did her wrong, so she just suffering from that. She needs me. She's got to find a way. She got to. Because that's going to be a relationship. The more you bow to her needs, you become the son rather than the husband. Go ahead. I got some more.
I saw a study about this a little bit too. The protector and the hero. Mm-hmm. You know how many cases it is when a woman then, not all, I'm just saying, exactly inside of the head of the man who kills somebody for him. Mm-hmm. So this thing is.
But that's our nature.
Yeah, so like you say, protector and helper, like I've seen actual stories where the woman played the victim live or whatever. Right. The man got so enraged to protect him mode that he killed somebody for this. She got off.
Right.
That's all I want.
Right.
This ain't real.
Ah, it is, man. So this is why, like, you have to, special single man, you have to be careful about how much you give into each other. You talking because she has something in her mind to lock you in, to bring you in, to always bring up. Keep your promise. Keep your promise. Remember what you said. Keep your promise. Don't be a promise breaker. You said you love me. You said you'll go through anything for me, and now it's the anything. Go ahead.
Shalom, everybody. Is it? Hello. Shalom. Yeah, I know we on the women, but just in my field, I see this a lot because in our society, we're broken home. We see a lot of effeminate men being brought up because they haven't had their father in their life. Right. So they utilize this tactic because you'll have women who educated, got great credit, right, stable, but they giving all their resources to somebody who's staying in and out of jail.
Right.
And you like, how? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You pouring all these resources to them. Women who could get men who really productive, but
right,
some reason they captivated by this type of man because they done bought into the idea of being a mother to them or protector. So it can go both ways. And then just from a experience to confirm what Kazak was saying, I had a client. He was saying that he dated this woman. He had a child with her, and when he decided not to be with her, every dude she got with, she tried to get them to fight him. The last guy that I think she was engaged to, he ended up killing him because he came on his job and tried to fight him, and he was like scared for his life. Now he's fighting a case, on a murder case because of it kept happening.
So that can happen. Get that song out of us, I'll be your hero, baby. Play that no more.
I just want to say real quick, this whole topic is just making me think about, boundaries, right?
Right.
Like I was reading a book, in regards to boundaries and, like just understanding what is in your realm of responsibility.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
perfect right there.
Not giving too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, not letting somebody lure you with their sob story because you got to know, what's yours to handle and what somebody else is to handle. Like, even if, you know what I'm saying, it's like, even if it's like, something that's like, that's seriously pressing on them or seriously, hurting them, you got to learn, know how to discern. You're talking about learning how to discern, right. When to step in their help or when to let them just,
Know what's in your realm of responsibility. You said it right there.
Yeah, because Hazak was talking about what he said. I mean, what we're talking about right now, just it makes me think about a puppet on the string.
Oh, yeah, that's what you're going to be.
You know what I'm saying?
It's in this slide. You had something?
I was going to say, too, just making sure that's why it's important for your the betrothal process for you to be in front of the council. So when we get him by himself and you by yourself, we can really get into you, really get into your mind, really get in to see what's going on. And then also, even if y'all just having that conversation initially, making sure when you get this sob story, making sure that she's healed from that sob story before y'all try to go to the next step or decide to enter the process or whatever. Because then she's just going to bring that hurt into the relationship anyway.
Right. That's so important. Well, everybody got something to say. Well, I ain't even started on the women now. All everybody say, go ahead. That is. Try to get through the slides.
So, just going back to what he was saying, some of y'all relationships might have started out, you was trying to overly sex and try to capture him, going to repent. Don't do it now so we won't know who you are. Get home. You need to repent. Okay? For reeling him in and trying to trap him with all that sex.
That's right. That's right.
The next thing, Abba, give it back to me. Father, thank you. Thank you. Here's something out of point. If it comes back to me, I'll bring it up. Yeah, it was what we really risky, so maybe you hear this one.
Praise you.
Y'all still repent for how you lured and trapped her. Don't deny it.
Hallelujah. We got outside there in the back.
Shalom, infinite honesty. Malek. We always paint the picture of Jezebel being the culprit in all things, but when you look at Ahab, it seemed like he was dealing with the field, how he kind of he could have manipulated her because she was his protector, helper.
Right.
She keeps her promises by, anything she says, she actually executed.
She did.
By killing the prophets and killing the elder with the vineyard. And she was also loving. Right. So it goes both ways. Ahab could have been a manipulator by using field. That's all.
Right. Hallelujah. Praise you. Hallelujah. All right, so let's go. All right. So I know we saying both ways, but it's majority women with this. It's just we ain't finna murky that because for a man it's a totally different thing. But with this right here, a woman, it's hard for a woman that's whole to actually look for or look to be a protector of a man. Or to look to be a man's hero. Go ahead.
I want to give a speed paper up, and you can tell me if I should say it or not. Because it might start out being like, every fantasy and all that stuff like that, but because they so crazy, you know where I'm going with that? You know what I'm saying?
Let's keep talking. We got here.
I don't want to Okay. So they might start out using that sexual prowess and stuff like that to kind of lure you in. But then that tends to wear off because they're so crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It no longer works like they want it to work. They're still willing to give it out, but it doesn't work anymore because a woman can be so crazy that a man's manhood no longer responds to it.
That thing ain't going up now.
And
not if you killing that man confidence,
right?
You talking crazy to him,
right?
The impotent.
All right, praise Yahushua. Hallelujah.
The impotent man. Man got to feel like a man, and you cutting them down, and then wondering why you ain't getting no sex, and you hollering at them like you're a child, and then the same because we keep that. One thing about us, we store stuff now. But what we store is disrespect. We can remember it to the day, to the time it happened. It's stored. Now, we might not remember a lot of stuff. I ain't going to lie. But I'm going to tell you the truth, a secret. A man remembers the moment of time of disrespect. Am I right, man? We keep track of that. And you come in there, you done disrespected me and talk to me crazy. Then think we're going to get in there. Now, sometimes we might. Let me throw that out there, because that ain't always, man. We might get over it for the moment. But it can't be too often, or you're going to have a problem. If that man don't have confidence in his mind, then his body can't perform. So let's keep going. All right, let's talk about the North wife. The Narc wife has an inordinate relationship with the need of power and control. It's mainly because something happened to her of a loss of control. It can be a trauma. It can be what she's seen her mama go through, what she's seen her aunties go through. So she has to have some level of control. So control drives her. Power drives her. She quickly turns the relationship, instead of husband and wife, to wife and child, or queen and prince. She must take away your manhood a little at a time until she have it in her hands to be able to play with it at will. So she'll start subtly disrespecting you. And she'll just expect you to get over it. Because what? She wants the relationship to be built off no accountability to her. So she can show attitude, she can say anything with you, and then you just wake up the next day and everything all right, because she wants to make that normalized. You can't correct her. She has to have a place in the marriage of control, of something that she controls, so she can tell you what to do. I gotta be over something. I know you the head, but and whatever you give me, I'm gonna make it like I'm mama and you child. Because I feel too when you have to come ask me to do something. I gotta have something that I'm in control of. Because I gotta feed that. And I get that, then there's little other stuff that I start putting under my control. And before you know it, you responding to me like my child. Because I never had an authority in my life. And I ain't had no dad to tell me what to do, so ain't no husband gonna tell me what to do. I give the order. So the protector mode, especially, I can't do that. You just gotta, listen to me. Everything is about positioning yourself. I'm gonna just talk to the single man. You want to position yourself where you don't have to depend on your wife to be. You can command respect as a man by being a man. There's so many men that's not men that if you do the simple thing at a young age, establishing your credit, as having your own vehicle, having your own house, having your bills being able to be paid. Just that low level of being a man projects you over many men. Rather going into something she built. Because when you go into something she built, she got control over it, and you're going to get that mouth. Oh, mouth coming. Oh, mouth is coming. Even if she make more money than you, it's all right. Long as y'all can work together on it. But you got to position yourself as making the final decisions on what things happen. Because I'm going to tell you, it's just the truth. You better say, listen, man. It's important that if you are the head, you just position yourself as the head and you walk as the head. And doing everything within your power to be the head. There's certain responsibilities that you don't need to put on her because that type of pressure will have her say things to you or feel a certain way about you. So, it's different areas where she has to have control and change the dynamic from husband and wife to child and mother or queen and prince. She has to have a place in the marital control when she tell you what to do. It feeds her ego or need for control. She will make you start giving a report of everything to her. I got to report how much gas I used when I went to the store. I got to report everything dealing with the groceries. I got to report when I took the kids and took them this way. I got to report how much time I spent on the phone for the plan. I got to report everything. It ain't about the report. It's about putting you in place where she can give control and give orders. Because the female narc, she got to have order. She got to have control. We don't like that. And she's the queen of nagging. She gonna nag the mess out you till you submit. What you doing? Where you going? What's your boss? Who you was with? Why you stayed with him so long? Why y'all had to go to that store? You went to that store. You should have went to the other store. I told you what they had at the other store. Why you went to that store? You should have went over there and got the eggs. Should have went over there and got the cheese. Should have went over there and got the dog food. And you like, hey, listen, sis, I don't go to all them stores. Tell you one thing about a man. A man, listen, we'll pay the extra price. Okay, we ain't finna go to all them stores, buy no sale. Okay? We just gonna get on there, $5. $5. I ain't going way over there for say no $2. I ain't trying to give y'all my spirit now. It's my spirit. If y'all got that worked out in your homes, work it out. But listen, I ain't finna do all that now. You don't send me all around town. I know groceries. But she nags. She come home. And you ain't have to work. And it do something to see you sitting there doing nothing. She just want to say something. You all work now. You got stuff to do, but I bump that, I'm tired. You all working. She see you on the couch, you just watching flipping, and she's like, she got to find something for you to do. She gonna say something. I got to say something. Well, baby, did you do this today? Well, you get like, wait. You giving me a checklist? It's my day off. Forget the dough. I don't feel like fixing it. Especially when it is. Let me just give y'all some wisdom. Listen. So if a man got 3 days off, he gonna do all his catching up on the last day. He ain't gonna do nothing on that first. I'm just telling you. That first day, he don't want to do nothing. Now the women, they have in their mind, okay, well, he off. He can finally get to it. I'm gonna make sure he can get this done and that done. And listen, you don't know about that. They playing your whole time you off. Now that you ain't no narc for that. I'm not saying y'all are not. I ain't lying to anybody, but who been married? Who married and know that? Them women were playing all your days off. And we're like, listen, hey, you gonna be mad? I ain't getting it at the day. I don't want to be off work and go back to work. I'm working for you now. I'm off work, but then I gotta go and clock in at your clock. No, somebody gonna spell, and it ain't gonna be me. Them women, boy, they gotta wear asses, baby. The door. If you hear, they'll just get the swing in the door. You see that supposed to work like that? That's how it's supposed to work. Like, hey man, leave me alone now. I said I'm gonna get to it. And y'all know I will get into it this next year. I ain't gonna lie, I had a whole to-do list for almost a year and a half. I was sitting there and looking at it. Nah, I ain't gonna get to that today. Gonna be a little rough on that. I'm gonna go back in bed. But I did. I ended up getting it all done. But she ain't nagged me, though. She ain't nagged me. I praise you. All right. Yeah, we out here. No, we have about 12 slides for the men. Don't do that now. Don't do that. It's 3 slides. Yeah, we got to get y'all. The wife will find a way to make most problems the husband's fault. We're in the position we in because of you. Because of how you do. Like you ain't have no part of it. Like we ain't a team. She got to find a way to make the kids turned out the way they are because of you. It's your fault. We had a bad vacation. The man went out there and tried to plan the vacation. Tried to show you a good time. And while you on vacation, there was the room that y'all had, you found a roach in. Now it's his fault. Like he owned the hotel. Brought me on this vacation, man. Got the roach motel. A little bit hotels I got. Look at you. You don't love me. You should have went out there and got that old the hotel at $500. You don't love me. You won't think I'm quality. It's your fault. You're like, listen now. Well, baby, let's just not ruin the whole vacation. But that, all I got to do is call them. They're going to give us another room. Well, why are you sitting here looking at me? Ooh. Okay, baby. You go down there. I got you, mama. I got you. Make sure you do a skit on this. You go down there and change the room. Then she want to say, that just ruined my whole day. I don't want to go nowhere no more. So we gonna sit in the room? No, that took my whole taste. I can't have a good time, and you can look at the reviews. And then now that man got to sit there, y'all got to be mad for a whole day. You ain't got but 3 days because money tight. The first day you drove down there, that's half a day. You got 1 day and you're mad and you got to return the next day. And then you finally had a good time and then you think everything is well and everything is great. And then her friend called. Like, Ray, and she's like, Shalom. She's like, hey girl, y'all had a good time. No, child, he brought me into a roach motel. All right. Try it. All right. You ain't going nowhere no more. You understand what I'm saying? Everything is his fault. Go ahead, Mom.
Could you please give us an example of what women do if there's some projects that are moving around?
We ain't giving answers this message. We want to bring up the problems. We want the problems to rest on them for a while. Then we're gonna come back with answers. Let me let this just sit on them. Don't give them no way out right now.
So y'all gotta go home and rehearse and figure it out. So, next.
No, y'all.
This
y'all
is a
want to answer?
commercial break.
No, you gotta let that thing rest. Number 2. Well, always seem like she's against you. Your judgment. She has to make sure you feel that you can't do nothing without her. She makes you depend on her. No, I don't really believe you are a leader. No, you can't go to the store by yourself. Every time you try to do a project, it fails. You sure you can do that? Well, baby, I want to start this business. You want to start a business? You think you can do it? You sure? And everything you try to do and accomplish, she wants you to second guess. So she's going to put a seed of doubt in your head. And then you paralyze and don't move forward on nothing. And then she say, look at you. You don't never want to move forward on. All you want to do is sit around. If it weren't for me, nothing would happen. That cycle. And then all you can do, go watch that movie again. Sitting up in my room. Everything you try, see, because sometimes the struggle can be so bad that you're trying. You trying to hustle. You trying to do something, but you got to question everything to make you feel like I'm your mama. Let mama handle it. Then the more you yield to that, you sit and do nothing while the pressure goes on, and then she chastises you for that. Why? Because I want to put in your mind, before you try to think to do something, you need to make sure I approve. Not Yahuwah, because your worship is me. We don't like that dude. Make you feel guilty for intimacy. Now, let me go back to that. Nah. Let me say this on the brother side. Nah. Don't give your wife a history of stupid stuff. I want her to get with everything, and all you doing is you just making a whole bunch of dumb decisions. I want her to get with she done rolled with you on every dumb decision that you done made. She's sitting there riding, and she's tired of being dumb. That's different now. You keep jumping in the ditch and want her to jump off in there with you now. One day she gonna leave you down there. Climb up off that. You see what I'm saying? But it's different when she got to have control, though. That everything that you even brought to her. Well, baby, I'm thinking about, doing music. Music? We do stuff around the house, though. Man, she said, he's going to put me on this song. You heard it? Now, you ain't never heard him before. You don't know what he can do. But by off top, you trying to minimize it. Baby. Just go to work tomorrow. Makes you feel guilty for asking for intimacy. She desired to be in control of everything, so you get it when she wants it. She makes it seem like it's a chore to devalue you and your confidence. No, I don't give it to you when you want it. I give it to you when I say you can have it, because I want to be in control of it. And I want to use it to get what I want. So I can keep devaluing it. Or she get to talking bad about it. Oh, yeah, that's it. Dang. Yeah. You all happy and laid down to the side. And she know that it was two, but she has to limit you mentally. Because if she know if she can cut you there, she has you everywhere. that she can make you feel like you ain't pleasing at all, to cut you, and then get excited telling you about something in the past that happened, to devalue you, to keep you under her control, second guessing yourself. And now you will be like a boy, a little boy and a baby in her hand, trying to please her. All you want is sex. You get that, you got down there, she can hold off. He can't. Okay? Then I'm all let the job. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. You dodging and weaving, and they coming there with painted. Their pants painted on them, going around your station. Yes. Jiggling, swinging out. You like, Yahuwah, keep covenant with my eyes. Smelling good. You out here smelling like the kitchen with a moo-moo on all day. And that same head wrap. No, not head wrap, but the bunny. And he come home fighting. And you got the bunny ministry on. And then acting like, man, I ain't got that on my mind. You don't away from me. Quit touching me. Like I've been dodging, touching all day. They're my hips. That's what the Bible said. The Bible said your body ain't yours. That your wife's body is your husband. The husband's body is the wife. So how you get to keep it? She cut you off from friends and family for control purposes and more of isolation more. You got a whole family over here. You got kids over here that need you. But when you married her, she felt like that family is a threat, that the kids is an opportunity for you to get back with the other wife, with the ex-wife. So what she does, she creates all type of situations and circumstances to make you see why you shouldn't trust your kids or being around them. So now you disconnect with them to connect with the kids she has to raise her kids, and they ain't even your own. Because that's how she wants. Because you are hers. And you worship her babies, and you have to forsake all. Just like with you. You have to forsake all for what you inherit. So now, all type of situations. Then the kids out here looking like, well, why daddy and mama why daddy don't want to come around no more? What's happening? Guys, just as weak as wood. Pleasing a woman rather than what you do with her. And if she good, you'll never get them done. Constantly reminds you in different ways that she could have done better than you. She has to project that she settled for you, and she will also possibly do it publicly. One thing about a narcissistic wife, she has to embarrass her husband publicly. She has to say some stuff that's supposed to be secrets with them to put a jab at him that him and her know in a way of sarcasm or laughter. She has an inordinate need to embarrass you publicly through sarcasm, through secrets, through inadequacies, through jokes. And you looking like, you sitting on the outside. You see it like that. But it's about cutting at this manhood. It's about making her have control over it. It's about showing that he's not her first choice or on that level. There's a need to limit your ego because of your accomplishments. She always got to find a way to be like, hey, you know, you ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? Really, anybody else could have done it. And she felt like, I have to be in control of your ego. What? I made you a Lord. I got to make sure you don't go too high. You done kept me low. But the reason you can't go high because now you can get in the limelight out of my control and start thinking that somebody else wants you. So I have to keep your accomplishments diminished in your mind. She's the queen of the double standard. Super sensitive to her emotions. Super sensitive to her emotions. Super sensitive to her emotions. But a stone wall when it comes to you expressing yours. How you feel makes you seem weak as a man. Now you can't even be vulnerable with her because she don't have a clue of vulnerability. Because vulnerability means shame to her. And it brings forth anger. So to see you doing that, she has to take you out because vulnerability reminds her of how less tied to her own vulnerability that she is. And she hates the shame that she felt growing up. So she called you weak. Oh, you just being weak. Ain't no man of the covenant. Get out your feelings. Your feelings hurt by that? That hurt your feelings? Oh, you getting sensitive on me. You just like. So all these things are important, especially even expressions in front of people. And if you look at your husband a certain way, like he a child in front of people, to have him shut up. I have to do that. They the master at projection. They can look at their things that they ain't, especially if he didn't accomplish something, they have to look at both, definitely both sides of it. Looking at something like, man, I think you jealous. Like, is something happening? Just walk in the room and say, you jealous of me? Oh, what are we talking about? Nah, I seen it. You jealous of me. I'm like, okay. And then you be like this. Okay. What am I doing? Did you? Really?
Kadar tried to replace me one time doing that. She tried to replace me. When she told me this, man, I almost fell out the chair. Because, my wife had already accomplished stuff. And dude just started accomplishing. He walks up and says, I think you're jealous of me. And she told me, I said, what? But it was just a fortitude of how weak-minded he was. Because why are we measuring ourselves? When we started competing, we on a basketball court, you the quarterback, I'm the defensive end, where we at? But I'm laughing because this stuff is real. And I hope that we all have ears for this, because this is real stuff. You don't want your marriage or your relationship to become jail. Because this stuff, it feels like even the stuff that's being said is almost like phone check. You operate based off of what I tell you to do. there's no freedom. That's what it is. Especially if there's a sense of I had to settle you. So I just hope people are getting. Thank you, Kanal, for telling me about that. You upgraded, though. You upgraded, man. Hallelujah.
That's it, man. You don't never want your spouse to feel like you settled. That's either way, man. That's crazy. All right. Please, okay, I got that. Queen of the double standard, super sensitive. Okay, I got that. Master projection. Y'all got that. Will not allow you to be vulnerable, trigger, shame, and anger. Got that. Two-faced. Got a face at the house and a face among. Man, that's one of the boys, I'll tell you that. She just did bust you out and chopped you down. And then somebody come to the door and you watch them metamorphosis. And you see that ring, 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 ring. You sitting there like a little boy. Pouting. And then come to the door. Shalom. Hey, child, I was just thinking about you and friend. Come on in. And you like, yeah. Wow. So you trying to hold it together. How you doing? How you doing, brother Mo? I'm all right. You sure? Yeah, man. Just a little few things, you know. Oh, child, he all right. He just had a long day of work. You know how it is and shit. You know how it is. I know she ain't give me the mama look like she gonna beat my behind after this meeting. What? Oh man, listen. Then they leave and she mad for real. Oh, you trying to embarrass me? Oh, I know what you think this is. She all in your face. And I'm gonna tell you this. What I say about the narc, she has to consistently kill the image of a man in her mind and your mind. So if first is, yeah, okay, you know, and you don't say nothing, you just humble down. Okay, that's it. You get some counseling. And then the next thing is she getting in your face. All right. Then you keep humbling down. Then next thing, she want to eat. You just like you call it. Then you keep letting that slide down. Then you be driving. I know this real people. You driving. Y'all get in an argument, and she hauls off, punch you in the face while you drive. Done seen it? Well, I ain't seen it, but I know. You hit me like, why you hit me? Why you hit me? When women crazy like that, boy, I tell you, you gotta, protect your peace. All right, so another thing, they constantly compare you to other men. That's pretty much self-explanatory. You can only be happy when she is happy. What I talked about before. That no. If I don't get to do it, you don't get to do it. Okay? You ain't gonna have no fun. If I can't have no fun, we're gonna be miserable tonight. Exploits you financially some kind of way. Them type that, yeah, they took your credit cards, the little money that you saving up, same thing on the other side. And she was saying schizophrenic sometimes. And you like, whoa, all kind of demons manifesting out of her. all in one setting. You're like, man, I thought, who am I talking to today? She up with her emotions and down with her emotions. You know what I'm saying? These things are important. So we have to be mindful that these things ain't finding us, especially if we use that hero and protector thing to protect you, and you know you did wrong with another sister in the ministry, and now you got your husband amped up to go at her husband. And now it's a problem when you was the one at fault. Now you can use your little emotions to trick him. And now he amped up and he ready to go, brother, you need to get your wife together. Like, bro, what you talking about, man? And all of a sudden it's a whole big thing. Because you that you're supposed to be my protector. You're supposed to be the one that married me. You promised me that you will always protect my honor. But you forgot the clause. What if you at fault? It don't matter. My emotions. Worship it. We don't like that dude. We don't like that dude. So, if you find yourself somewhere in there, all you got to do is correct it. Just correct it. Prove that you ain't no full-blown narc. Prove it. Show it. I know a lot of us found ourselves in here, didn't we? But these messages are important because this is the stuff that's going to stop your growth and where you is taking. You hear what I'm saying? What he's trying to do in the midst of us. Hallelujah.
Rebirth of a nation. Hebrew kingdom building.